Davies in the middle. Checks back against Carter and scores. That is atypical for the Amina Margot.
Quickly gets it back again. Oh, what a goal! Well, that sums up her season. The Gunners are WSL champions.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Vic Akers Wonderland. I am your host Matt Roberts, and as we head towards Easter, the Easter Bunny has arrived with a special game for us in terms of the Gunners facing off the Foxes at the Emirates Stadium tomorrow night. But I'm joined as two of those people that are definitely going to be there. Lottie, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I've been sorting out sort of a Easter surprise for Saturday. Adam, I know you're not sitting with us, but you need to come find me. Can't wait to see people's faces. It's actually been quite funny. But yeah, no, good. Still floating off the the second Real Madrid win from the other week. But yeah, good.
And as always, the historic value knows no bounds. Adam, how are you?
I'm fine, although I'm now slightly nervous about what this surprise that was going, this chocolate surprise that's like been lined up for the weekend. Yes, I'll have to try and meet up before the game. And as for the well, as we record this Monday night, hopefully I'll be there for tomorrow night's game. There's been a late change of plans for me. I was going to be at home, but now I'm in Guildford. So hopefully the train service in Guildford is spot on, and I can get from there and back again in one night. So fingers crossed there.
So we should just quickly go on to the other fixture news. That is that the game against Aston Villa has been changed to the 30th of April. That is a Wednesday, 6 p.m. kickoff going to be on Sky Sports. A lot of shaking their heads there. I think there's a lot of refusal, or should we say unhappy, I think, fans for this one because of it being a early Wednesday. It's not ideal for everyone, I don't think. Adam, would you be able to go to this game, or are you not able to now?
This is the game at Villa Park.
Yes.
No, I probably won't be. I'll probably, because it's midweek, it's a write-off anyway because of work. I would say is, and maybe you will know this because of last season, an earlier kickoff might be so bad because it might give you a better chance of getting the train back. You may not, let's say, have to leave halfway through the second half to get the train back to, say, to Merseyside. So these things do work either way. Yeah, it's for getting out of work and getting to the ground, it's a bit naff. But it's a game. I like the trip to Villa Park last season. Loved it. Obviously got the great win. Stina scored the goal of the season, no question that one. But no, not for me this season. I'll be watching from home. But it should be a good game, and I hope we'll again get a decent crowd. And hope we can keep this winning run going. Yeah, there's only a few games left now, so it's not long to the end.
Yes, not too long indeed. We should talk about Renee once again getting Manager of the Month. So huge congratulations to Renee Schlegers once again for being Manager of the Month. As we head into the last, is it four?
Yeah, four league games. That's it.
That's
yeah, isn't it? It's gone quickly. It feels only yesterday that we were going to the Emirates Stadium to watch us play Manchester City, and Jonas Arnevel was still in the dugout, and all of a sudden, boom, 4 games left, and that's it. It's gone so fast.
So we should just also quickly mention the international break, and this is only the one thing, shall we say, because let's say the international break for a lot of the team was very up and down. But there was a huge congratulations to Michelle Agerman. So just to run it through, the under-19s had their Euros qualifiers at St George's Park. They won their second game against, I can't remember who it was, but their last game was against Ukraine. So they fully qualified for the tournament in Poland in May. And that allowed them some of the under-19s to be off training, whether with senior internationals from Michelle Agerman, with Alessia Russo injured. She was they just said, right, okay, we'll bring her into the senior squad, so then there's not another replacement needed. And I don't know how to describe it, but it was 3-1 down going into the second half. Michelle Agerman comes on in the 80th minute, 81st minute, around that mark. 41 seconds she'd been on the pitch. 41. Yeah, 41 seconds she'd been on the pitch, and she touches it with her thigh and she smashes it into the top corner. That is very much how you introduce yourself into the England setup.
It is. It was quite the goal. Sadly, a lot of us missed it because there was another football match happening at the same time. Where certainly, Lottie was fortunate enough to be obviously at the Emirates Stadium for that one. Was having, I think, a far better night than those of us having to watch Belgium versus England. Sadly, it was only a consolation, but what a consolation! And it's always important to try and look for the positives in the defeat. And to be fair, England were rubbish in that first half against Belgium, but Michelle Agerman scoring her first England goal and scoring it in that manner was something to cling on to. And it's the Euros aren't far around the corner. There's a few games coming up. If she can really, make a good impression in these last few run of games, then maybe she could get that last ticket on the plane to Switzerland, and she could be that wild card, because you do something like that, people are talking about her now. She's being noticed. I mean, as Arsenal fans, we know her quality, and we hope that she'll be in the first team next season. But now, Europe knows. Everyone's seen the goal. It's been gone viral, and people are talking about it. And the questions when it comes to team selection, when Renner to pick a squad for the Euros, it won't be, should Michelle be picked? It'll be inverted. People wondering if she doesn't get picked. People will be questioning that, because that's the exciting player everyone's going to want to see. So, very interesting decision for Serena to make come this summer. But well done to Michelle Agerman, and hopefully it's not the last, it's just but the first of many.
So we just add to this, Lottie. I'm looking at her stats with Brighton at the moment, and in the Super League alone, it's 14 games, 1 goal, 1 assist. Would that warrant you one look at as to say, should she be pushing for for a starting place now, that with what's happened with that goal?
To be honest, she needs to make a break into the first team anyway. I think she's made a very bold statement, scoring her first goal, and saying in her post-match interviews she wants to be a part of the squad for the summer. But again, the minutes and the stats need to be improved for me personally. But would I be taking her over the likes of Lessie? No. You look at who else? Probably over Chesnaz. Maybe, because she's been very quiet recently. But it's a case of who Serena trusts. If she's going to go the same team, or is she going to go with something completely new that we haven't been seeing during the international breaks?
Well, you never know. As we head into the game at the Emirates, it is a 7:30 kickoff. I'm going to get this wrong, aren't I? Somewhere around 7:45 kickoff.
7:30.
7:30. I got it right the first time.
I was sitting on screen nodding at you like, yes, that's correct.
7:30.
No, I think
7:30 Sky Sports for us in the UK. Most likely, if you are international, it will be shown on the YouTube channel. So your lucky ducks get to see it for free. But Leicester have only the one injury. That's Ruby Mace is still out with a knee injury. The game is coming too early for her. However, Arsenal's injury list continues. Lotta Wubben-Moy, she is back in training. However, Leo Cadena is still being managed, so there's no guarantee that she's going to be fit for this game. Chloe Kelly and Alessia Russo are both touch and go. There's no guarantee that they both will be playing this game. And it's very similar with Daphne von Domschler as
Keeping
well.
fresh for Leon.
Yeah, they had Russo in the training picks, which obviously gives hope that maybe she'll be likely to start. But you're right, Lottie, with Leon coming up this weekend.
Can't afford it.
No, I would do what Mikel Arteta did for the Brentford game and just
As long as I don't get a board draw, I'm happy. I want 3 points.
yes.
That's the only difference. That is
yes,
the only difference I want.
Thing is, though, I'd love to get second place, and to miss getting second place because our season started to be amazing for us. But I need to check with the rule because obviously the Champions League changes next season, so I don't know how much of a difference is between second and third, if it is different or not. But yeah,
it'll be the same thing. The only difference would be that if you go out in the knockout, the qualifying, you'd go into the Europe. Yeah, we're gonna have to call it the Europa, aren't we?
What the Europa equivalent league, we'll call it. Hopefully, we get the win. I believe we'll get into the teams in a bit, but I think Rene could put out, rotate some players out, maybe put in some of the more fringe players in, bringing the likes of Katie Reid potentially. Start Stina Blackstenius instead, and should get the win. I mean, I have a lot of feeling on this fixture because I was there. Well, we were both there. Me and Matt, we were both there for the reverse game, and it was gargantuanly awful. It was one of the worst experiences I had to sit through. We won, so yeah, fair play. But it was just eye-bleedingly wretched. And we didn't show our best face in that game, and there are reasons for that. So I'm hoping that just whatever team Benny puts out, and I think whatever team she puts out will be good enough. But it'd be good to get a win, get some momentum going into obviously the bigger game at the weekend.
Lottie, is there anything that you can really think about where team-wise you'd imagine maybe if some of these players aren't touch and go, just rest them for Leon? Don't give them.
Keep them for Leon. I mean, no disrespect to Leicester. I mean, is it Van Havermaet that scored over in midweek?
She's playing. She plays for Everton.
Oh, she plays for Everton. My bad. I never remember which team. I know it's blue. That's something.
It's the other blue team. Yeah.
Yes, the other blue team. Actually, it could be one of 3, but definitely not Chelsea. But anyway, no, it should be interesting to see they probably put their strongest team out on the Emirates. Think we're not expecting a massive turnout for a midweek game. I think only the East Stand's open. So,
to be honest, in the days of old, I would have been frantically refreshing that ticket page and seeing what the.
I know.
I haven't really been looking, but it's not. It was a curious decision to do it because the plan had originally for it to be at Meadow Park. Had we not made it to the Champions League semi-finals, which we have, I think we can agree that Meadow Park is not really fit to play anymore. The only pitch that's worse than that is over in Real Madrid. It's being played at Emirates Stadium on the midweek nights. It should be good. Not a great attendance. Leicester City, I don't think they're safe from relegation just yet. I think they need a few more points. And it's a shame that Ruby Mate isn't going to be there because obviously ex-Gooner, she's had a really good season with Leicester. She's really filling a potential. She's getting some decent game time after spending most of the time at Manchester City on the bench. It would have been nice to have had play against us and play at Emirates Stadium, something she never got to do when she played for us. But alas,
I think
not today.
Leicester are more or less safe. They've got 16 points. Palace have got 9.
I was going to bring this up in a minute, but we'll go for it.
Yeah,
carry on, Adam.
No, it's that. For a lot of the season, I thought it was a tango between Leicester City and Crystal Palace. And one of the two would go down, but they've had a good few run of results. Leicester, obviously, they beat Liverpool a few weeks ago, and they seem to have pulled away sufficiently. So I think Ross is right. I don't think they're not quite safe, but I think they will be by default. But I think they'll be up for it. We should say that we played Leicester at Emirates Stadium last season, and that was a pretty good result, a good 3-0 win. So here's hoping for more of the same.
Well, as we're adding this all up, I'd say, how would you line up? Just if there are injuries, as you mentioned, you'd rest them. So that means that you would. Would you both suggest that Manu's going to be in goal for this game if there's a question over
Absolutely.
Daphne?
I would say with Daphne, the narrative at the moment is 4 to 6 weeks. I think, or something like that. She's in the boot. She's in the magic healing boot. There's a picture of on the socials. So I would expect Manu to play between now and the end of the season. I would be shocked if we saw DVD again this season. I think it's Manu to see it out, sadly, and that is a shame because DVD has been amazing in goal, and some of the saves she made, especially against Real Madrid. I think that's that one in the first half in Emirates Stadium that just kept us in the tie when a goal from them would have probably killed us off completely. Gutted for her, but I think Russo will hopefully be rested. I think the likes of everyone was Chloe Kelly. Again, that one. Let's
go by positions. So just looking at goalkeepers at the moment. And then
Manu will be in goal. And then I'll defensively. I think McCabe always starts because she's always left back. I just wonder. Kadina's not available, so then it'll probably be: would you put Katie Reed in at right back and rest Emily Fox for the Lyon game? I think there is grounds to do that. Reed's played that position before. And I think you could probably get away with it against Leicester City if there was enough submission cover. But I also think that you'll start Steph and Leah in defence. So whilst I would love to say run the changes, the other play. Well, saying that, you could play Jenna Nicewanger. And she had a pretty. She was obviously the Palace game, and she did rather well because McCabe was suspended. So potentially, if you really wanted to wrap McCabe up in cotton wool, and I think you kind of have to. I think you probably go Nicewanger on the left back and Katie Reed on the right. Stick with your standard centre back pairing because I think you need to build that defensive core because you need to have that all in sync for the Lyon game because they're going to be, their attack's going to be turned up to 11 coming at us. So I would start Manu, Lair, and Catley in the middle, and then use the likes of Nicewanger and Reed on the fullbacks, and then potentially bring McCabe and Fox off the bench in the second half if there was a necessity to. But that's how I'd have the back line.
Lottie, your back line?
Yeah, no, Katie Reed. Probably Steph and Leah in the middle. And then Jen and Nicewanger at the back as well for me. Although I wouldn't mind Amanda getting some minutes in the middle.
Good shout. No, that's a good shout, actually.
It's been a while since we've seen her. I think Amanda would be a very good shout because we've been waiting for her return, and I think this might be the ideal game.
And we'll give her some height, which is always good.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, who doesn't love Stina Blastenius and Amanda turning up in their box? I know, I love it.
Good old Sweden in the World Cup 2023.
We love the height.
I think you've made some really good cases for that. I think we will see some sort of rotation because A, they need it, and B, if they're going to look towards like the international window with the Euros coming up, some of these players need those minutes to be able to put their cases forward. So I would imagine Amanda will probably start. I think if that was the case, who do you go with, Steph Catley, or do you go with Leah Williamson? Well, Leah Williamson's the out-and-out centre-back out of Steph Catley. And
I think you would go Leah. I would go Leah in the middle. If you had to choose between keeping Steph or keeping Leah, and also with Steph is the left-sided, the only left-sided centre-back we're playing with. So that's key to the way we play our game at the moment. And I'm not saying that Leah is unique in that way because Leah's a brilliant defender, but I think we have got other right-footed centre-backs that could potentially fill in that role. I think you would wrap Steph up if need be and put Amanda next to Leah if that's the way you wanted to integrate her into the team.
With the way Leicester play, though, you need the Leah Williamson ball which
Yeah.
is integrated. So if you pick Leah Williamson, then if you have
we should also
Amanda,
say
you've got the height. And
we
then
should also say Lotta's potentially available as well. If it sounds like
she's back in training, but there's no guarantee. I wouldn't risk it again.
No.
I would imagine if she was back in training, she'll probably get minutes towards the end of the game, which means she probably comes
No, the thing is,
on
if
for
she
Leah.
was, if she was fit to start, I'd start a Lotta and Amanda together. I think that would be interesting. And then Katie on the other side, Lotta, and then Katie Reid, not Katie McCabe, Katie Reid.
There's two
and it's
Katie on the
and
left,
Katie.
Katie on the right.
Katie to the left, Katie to the right,
to the right. Well, that's a new chart for
yeah,
North
and
Bank
then maybe
sorted.
put Steph back out on the left to give Katie a rest because she has had a calf strain. It might be an option.
Yeah, see, that was the other thing bringing up, maybe putting Steph on the left. But then who would you put in the midfield as well? Are you going to go with the two pivots, or are you going to have something a bit different in there?
I mean, I think you want to. Mariona looks like she's been made to be a pivot midfielder now, operating either with Kim Little or Leah Velty. Because ordinarily you'd say before the Lyon game, wrap Kim and Leah in cotton wool. They're going to be our midfield pairing for the Lyon game.
Yeah.
But I don't think that will be our midfield pairing for the Lyon game. It just depends on which the two will partner Mariona. I think you could start Kyra in the midfield, and then potentially. So I remember when we played Leicester City away, we had Kyra and Velty, and it looked rubbish in the midfield. It just looked very one-paced, I mean, as a team we were a mess anyway, but that really started out looking quite rubbish. But it sort of got itself working under Rennet was in recent weeks. So I think that the two that would start in this game won't start the Lyon game. So you start Kyra and then maybe one of Kim or Velty, and then the other player will partner Mariona for the Lyon game. But again, at the same time, Rennie might just say, "I want to pick a strong team and just keep the momentum going. Get the players running hot." So I think Kyra.
You can start with a different partner with Mariona, but you can also bring Kimmy on for the last half an hour just to keep that momentum going.
I think it'll be Kyra and Leah Velty for the midfield too. My thinking is, with Kim Little's experience, I think you'll want that for the Lyon game. So I think it'll be Kyra and Velty in the midfield too.
Yeah, but so what I'm saying is you can bring one of them on, whoever it is.
Yeah.
Someone could come on for the last half hour, so one of them gets a break. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, it's not going to be Kimmy and Velty, but yeah, it's nice to have so many choices and not just our standard.
Nice.
It's going to be Leah Velty and Kim Little. It's so nice.
It's nice not to have our choices dictated by the lack of options in the squad.
Where would you throw Frida in there? That's my question. We've not mentioned Frida.
In a deep, I think she's.
Frida, you would play as the attacking midfielder for this one.
You would play as an 8. You'd play as the 8 or the 10. I think her deep, her games in deep, unless there is major injury issues, selection issues, and the only player left. But I think you will either play Frida as a more attacking 8 or 10, or as a winger option, to keep things fresh. But I don't see her. I mean, she could, but I don't see it happening. I think you're right, Lottie. I think you'll have a case of, let's say, Kyra and Velty, and then Kim Little coming on maybe in the second half to rotate around and give one of them to a rest for the Lyon game. But it's nice to have. Again, it's right. It's nice to have options, and we've had too many seasons when it's been a case of not who's right but who's left, because everyone else is in the sick bay or ball type thing or haven't been available. And now we've got loads of options and we can't decide.
It's luxury, isn't it?
It's nice. It's a nice luxury to have.
Who would I have in there? I think you've made some good cases. I think Kim probably starts the Lyon game, which probably does mean it will probably most likely for me. We'll see Kyra definitely start because you need to have that pace most. And then I think we'll probably see Leah Velty, and that means that the attacking midfield will be Frida Martin. Just because if Valessi's not 100% available to go, and say she's only 80% available, then that means that Stina Blackstenius is up front.
Yeah,
does Stina
I
work?
was going to jump in there and say, I'm already putting Stina Blackstenius up top if we're going to have Frida in that 10 or that 8
And you
all
know
day
what
long.
usually
Because
happens
you
when
know,
Stina
yeah,
and Frida
when Stina
start?
scores,
Frida
Frida
scores.
scores. So, and
No,
that's
I
just how it goes. It happens every game. I've seen the pair of them start together. Happens every time without fail.
The visions of that Conti Cup, as it was known, and semi-final against Aston Villa spring to mind. The thing is, though, with Stina, if she blows hot, she blows cold. You know, she'll have a run of like scoring 5 goals in 5 games, and then she'll go 5 games and not score at all. And that is the big frustration. Hopefully, if she's brought in for this game, she has her shooting boots on, and means that we don't have to say break glass, deploy Russo, chasing a goal. If Stina can, be on form, get the early goals. I think back to that game we had. I think it was against Bristol City in the FA Cup. And that's exactly what happened. That she got the early goals. She had some really good goals, if I recall, in that one, and the game was over. And hopefully, as you said, that Stina Frida partnership, bring back 2022-23 that glorious sort of tandem they had. Hopefully, that will get us over the
Yeah,
line.
where she was never ever offside.
No, and never is.
So then, who would be your wingers with who you've mentioned already? Would that mean Mariona playing left? Would that be Caitlin Ford potentially playing? Would it be Beth Mead being played?
Definitely Beth.
Beth, it's a case of Beth. I don't, because I thought if Rose is available, this would be the ideal game for her. But I've heard that she may have picked up a knock on it with the under 23s, with Swedish under 23s. There's some strapping on her knee, apparently, some of the photos. If she is available,
it has been for a while. To be fair, I've gone back through some of my photos during warm-ups, and she's all taped up. So it's probably why we haven't seen her.
If she's available, this is the game for her. It's because this is the perfect game where you can, have fun. I'm not saying it's free hit, but you would back Arsenal to beat Leicester City just based on the quality of that both sides possess. And you're playing at Emirates Stadium, where Arsenal have only lost once this season, and that was Jonas' last game. You would bank on them getting the win just through the sheer weight of quality. So this is the perfect game for someone like Rosa, if she's available, to go for it. If Rene doesn't think Rosa can play this game or chooses not to, that might say a lot, or we might be really more into it. But I would hope this is the sort of game where you let Rosa go on, prove your case. Don't make silly messages on Instagram after we just lost to Real Madrid. If you think you're good enough for this team, I'll put you out against the City and see what you can do. And I hope that we get to see some of that talent. As for the other winger, it's a case for Beth Mead. I think Lena Hurtig's out, so we're not going to see anything more of her. If Kelly's fit, I think she's probably held back for the Lyon game, because we saw against Real Madrid.
Maybe half hour run out if she's fit.
Yes,
half hour, not 90 minutes. No, sorry.
I think that's a good case. I think if Kelly were fit, you'd have Kelly and Ford for the Lyon game. So I would have Beth and Rosa potentially, and as you say, sub them off after 60 minutes and bring the others on and keep it fresh. But again, it's like we've got options. It's great. We're not having to crowbar midfielders into wingers, and we haven't even mentioned Victoria Pelova. She could be an option off the bench for in the midfield, or potentially on the wing. She's plays fullback for the wing back. I think it is for the Netherlands. She could play on the wing if need be. So she's another option. In a game, I wouldn't bank on Pelova playing against Lyon, which kind of makes you think she could probably get a good second half run. I don't think she'll start the game, but certainly a good second half against Leicester.
Never know, she might get minutes against Lyon. She's that nice, mean, nasty midfielder every team's got.
She hadn't.
She's not nasty, but you know what I mean. It's like Jude Bellingham. He's that horrible, mean, nasty, horrible. What's it?
But you want him on your team,
and that's what I see Pelova when she's got her game face on. That's what I see. She's that nasty, mean player that will do what needs to be done. Yeah, if that makes sense.
You've just reminded me of the time against Wolfsburg where it was really late into the additional time, and she made that tackle. The referee's gone to book her, and she's telling her to hurry up because of it.
Oh, hurry up and book her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I think I would like to see Victoria Pelova at the Emirates on Saturday. If I had to have a choice. If I had to have the choice, but I think this is an opportunity to build
Victoria
back.
Pelova to take up Randy Renard.
think Rennie
Oh.
Renard's out anyway.
Is she?
I think she's. I think she might. I've speaking to people who've been watching the what's it called, the Liga, or
Yeah.
the yeah. Should say Leon drew 2-2 with Paris FC over the weekend. Late
Nice.
equaliser for Paris. So not on form as maybe
Okay,
we might think.
right.
So
We're diverging the wrong way. I was
Yes,
only
we
mucking
are.
about.
But
As we're
So
talking
bring it
back to
back.
about,
Leicester.
You're saying about
Bring
Rennie
it back.
Renard. As far as I know, she wasn't available, so I don't think we'll see Palova two-footing her anytime soon.
no,
Boo.
I just think we're going to see some of the players that haven't got minutes will probably have a little bit more of a say in this game. If there is, say, a 90% chance that any of these players that are injured, the Chloe Kelly or Alessia Russo, are 90% fit, they probably get the last 10 minutes of that game just to say, right, okay, we pushed you into the last game for the last couple of minutes, just to see how you do, how is it feeling, and all that jazz. But what do you think the score's going to be? Is it going to be a hit and miss, a game where everything's going a bit pear-shaped and Arsenal walk out with just about a win in a 2-1, or is it one of those games where Arsenal roll Leicester aside with a 3-0? Or what are your thoughts just on the game, just
I love
going
how
into
you're really
this?
stoking the optimism. I would hope, because I hope this was the men's game at the weekend and it didn't pay off. Because what you want with the situation, if we are going to rotate, is that you just want it to be jeopardy free. You want to basically get away with not playing with your best hand, which is always the gamble. And if it pays off, great. You know, your big hitters are safe and you've got the 3 points. And so I'm hoping it's exactly that. We rest our big hitters, but we have enough on the pitch to win it, and it's a 2-3-0 win. And then that's it. Routine win. We go back home in the evening and think, right, that's 3 points in the bag. Move on to the next game. That's the way I would hope for it. Lottie.
Oh, can I speak? Joking.
Don't go for it.
Joking.
I'm just checking something, but go for it.
I'm joking. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with a very much Arteta style. Rest, get the players on that need the minutes, and then integrate the players that we are going to play on Saturday for Leon towards the last 15-20 minutes, just so they've got some minutes under their belt before, so they're not going in cold to Leon on Saturday.
Can I
Should
just
be. Go on.
Go. So it's
go
another
on.
tangent, but when you finish, I'm just going to throw this at you, if you just sort of get the fixtures. So obviously we play tomorrow. Chelsea have their game in hand, but that's being
Next
played
Wednesday.
the next Wednesday, which is the Palace game. So we will, if we win, we get within 3 points of Chelsea, put the pressure on. Do you think there's a chance we could take it to the final day if we win? Do you think
No.
we can? Do you think
No.
there's any chance that? No, you still
No.
know. You still.
Talking
We
about
all-
trying
Crystal
my best.
Palace have got a minus 32 goal difference. That's getting bigger come next week.
No, but I just.
I'm sorry,
but I'm
Crystal
just thinking,
Palace, but
you don't
Palace-
think? I'm trying to stoke a bit of positivity. Chelsea dropped points against West Ham. You don't see them dropping any more points at all within the end of the season. If
not
Leicester
against
can do
Crystal
it,
Palace. Who else have they got left?
they got Chelsea, got Palace, Manchester United away, Spurs away, and then Liverpool at home. And Liverpool did almost.
Liverpool and Man United. I think. How close is their final to that fixture?
United second from last home game. Second second. It'll be Man United's last home game. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Man United. I think Man United are going to try and beat them in the final. If I'm honest with you, they'll let them have the points.
Liverpool,
although they want to stay ahead of us. So
yeah. Liverpool pushed Chelsea very close in the FA Cup. It's just 6 points is a pretty huge gap. But I'm trying us to see as we get closer. Is there any positivity? Is there any hope left that maybe we could make a title race out of this? I don't think so, but I would like to think maybe if they fumbled one of those games. But it just means that we'll be within 3 points, albeit Chelsea with a game in hand. Should we beat Leicester City? And I think winding the clock back to our to where we were when Jonas left to be in that position. I think would be unthinkable, which kind of shows why René Slayers is the manager of the month yet again. Fair play to him, and we'll see how it goes.
Lottie, your score.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. I could see on your face you were itching to butt in.
Yeah,
So,
go on.
I'm going to go 2-0 to the Arsenal. I don't think it's going to be extremely exciting, but it's just like a quick kickabout. Sorry, Leicester, but it's a quick kickabout.
I think we're all in similar sort of minds. I'm feeling like this is going to be a 2-0 sort of game. And
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see when the goals come, because if it comes in the last 10 minutes where both the goals come, that's a
Oh God.
bit of concern. I am touching wood, by the way, just so
I don't
You're
want that
trying to
game.
hit my blood pressure, aren't you?
no, but
That's my job.
it's just one of these things that
Pair
it's
of you.
just goes through your mind, but you shouldn't really be saying them out loud. But I think if the team can get one goal early, I think that'll probably settle everything up nicely for the game on Saturday. So we are all expecting a win. But where can the lovely people find you, or who should I go to first? Lottie, where should people find you?
First off, you can find the pod at VAW Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky. But you can find me on Lottie_AWFC on Instagram and, unfortunately, Twitter, or X as we should call it. I dip my toe in now and again, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah. It's not what it used to be.
No, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Worse.
You can, if you've enjoyed my ramblings, I can't think why. You can find more of them on Adam dash Salter. I do remember dash or underscore Salter for one of the two on Blue Sky and Twitter and Instagram, and you can follow the Arsenal Win Archive on there as well. There's some very, very, very interesting games coming up towards the end of this month and also next month. Do make sure you give it a follow. You don't want to miss out. There is some I can't see many more than that, but there are some very interesting games coming up.
And you can find me at MattLR28. That is all from us tonight on Vic Akers Wonderland. Wherever you are, don't forget, come on, you Gunners.